A new job can give you a new desk, a new manager, and the same old problem. You can leave because the workload is too high and then join a new company and find the same kind of work. You can leave a bad manager and then discover that the career itself still feels wrong. Or you can blame the whole career when the real problem was one role, one team, or one difficult season. One sentence, I need a change, hides three different decisions. If you leave before naming which one is yours, you may rebuild the same trap somewhere else. Stay with me for the next few minutes and you will see one career decision separated into three clear parts. You will learn when staying is an active choice, when a shift is worth testing, and when preparing to leave makes sense. Most importantly, you will leave with one small test, something you can try before making a move that is too hard to undo. Before you resign, try to identify which layer is broken. But if staying puts your safety, health, or integrity at risk, protect yourself first. Career decisions often begin as a feeling. I cannot do this anymore. I need a change. Maybe I chose the wrong career. The feeling may be real, but it is not yet a clear answer about what is wrong. A bad month can feel like a bad career. A bad manager can make good work feel like pointless. Work you once enjoyed can become heavy when the hours, pay, or pressure change. When all of this gets mixed together, quitting starts to look like the only clear action. So the first job is not to choose stay, shift, or leave. The first job is to separate the problem and to check whether what you're feeling is a fact, a pattern, or a story you're telling yourself under the pressure. The career decision map. What I do, where I do it, where it leads. Find the strongest layer before choosing the biggest action. Layer 1 is what you do. This includes the task, the role, the workload, the skills you use, and how much control you have over the work. Ask yourself, if I did similar work in a healthier setting, would I still want to do it? Layer 2 is where you do it. This includes the manager, team, culture, pay, systems, flexibility, and the way decisions are made. Ask yourself, if the work stayed similar, but the environment changed, would I feel differently? Layer 3 is where it is taking you. This is about learning, future options, the value you're building, and whether the path still fits the life you want. Ask yourself, even if this job became easier, would I want the future it leads to? Here is another way to hear the difference. If you dread one task, look at first what you do. If you dread the people or the rules around the task, look first at where you do it. If you can do the job well but cannot see why you would keep doing it, look first at the direction. Now check each layer against the three questions, not just one feeling. Is this a fact? Something you can point to? Is it a pattern, a fact that repeats? Or is it a story, the meaning you've added on top? A story may turn out to be true, but don't treat it as proven before you've tested it. These layers can overlap. The map does not force one perfect answer. It helps you find where the strongest evidence sits. Here's a quick check. You enjoy the work, but every decision needs approval from one manager. What, where, or direction? Mostly where. You like the company, but your role has become only reporting and follow up. What, where, or direction? Mostly what. The job is manageable, but it is not building anything you want to use 3 years from now. What, where, or direction? Mostly direction. Real life will be less tidy, but even an imperfect label is better than one large sentence. Everything is wrong. The career may not be the first thing that needs to change. You spent 6 years in an operations role. You know the business, people trust you, and the salary supports real responsibilities at home. But the last 4 months have been exhausting. Most days are filled with urgent follow ups, your manager messages late at night, the improvement project you were promised keeps moving to the next quarter. After one more difficult Sunday evening, you open a job site and you think, I need to leave operations. Let us slow the decision down using the same three questions. Is it a fact? You received late night messages on 9 of the last 14 work days. That's a fact. Is it a pattern? The improvement project has been delayed 3 times. That's not one bad week. That's a pattern. Is it a story? Nothing here will ever change. That's the part you haven't tested yet. Now separate the layers. What do you still like? Solving messy business problems, helping teams improve, seeing work move from one confusion to a clear process. What is wearing you down? Constant interruption, unclear ownership, and an expectation that you are always available. That's a where problem, not a what problem. Where is the path going? More urgent follow ups, less improvement work, and no clear chance to build the skill you want. The first sentence was, I need to leave operations. The map gives a more useful sentence. I may still value operations work. I do not want this always on version of the role, and I need evidence that the path can include improvement work. Now imagine resigning without this distinction. You may search for another operations role, accept a better salary, and still join a job built around a constant urgent follow up. Or you may reject operations completely, even though the part you valued was hidden under the way this role has been designed. The map protects neither the job nor the career. It protects the quality of the decision. That sentence doesn't make the decision, but it gives us something we can test. Before you act on the sentence, check two more things. First, notice temporary pressure. A launch, illness, year end close, or team vacancy can make a good job feel impossible for a short time. Temporary doesn't mean harmless, it means the cause may end. Second, look for comparison. Was a job different under another manager? Do people in a similar role elsewhere describe the same problem? Did the work feel better when one responsibility changed? The comparison can tell you whether the problem belongs to this week, this workplace, or the work itself. Ask two questions before you move on. How long has it been happening, and what has already been tried? Staying by default is not the same as choosing to stay. Stay means keeping your current role and setting under a clear condition. If a small change fixes what is broken, staying is not giving up. It is a choice supported by evidence. Staying without a condition is delay. Staying with a condition is a decision. An active stay sounds like this. I will stay for the next 8 weeks while we test the new workload plan. I will review it on this date. If the same pattern continues, I will move to the next option. Notice what makes it active: a change, a sign to watch, and a date. Remove any one of these three and it stops being a decision. What shift looks like: change the smallest useful layer, change tasks or ownership, change team or manager, change the job shape. Keep what fits, test what does not. Shift means changing the smallest useful layer while keeping what still fits. The layer may be a task, the shape of your role, your team, or even the same work in another organization. That can be small. Change one project, ask for a clearer ownership, stop one duty, add one responsibility that builds the strength you want. Or it can be larger, another team, a different role, a same kind of work somewhere else. The question isn't, can my manager give me what I want? It's what change can teach me the most. In our example, the professional doesn't need to leave operations first. They need to test whether the setting, not the work, is what's broken. When leave becomes reasonable, prepared, not impulsive. The poor fit keeps repeating, know what must be different, protect the move. Leave means preparing to exit the current role, organization, or career direction. When the poor fit is strong, repeated, and unlikely to change, a prepared leave has three things: evidence, a clear next direction, and a practical plan. It does not require perfect certainty. Career decisions rarely offer that. Write down what must not repeat. A new title isn't enough if the next role has the same tasks, the same pressure, the same missing future. One exception overrides everything you've just heard. If staying creates a serious safety, health, harassment, legal, or ethics risk, do not run the 2 week test. Get the right support and protect yourself first. A workplace test is never more important than your own safety. Outside those cases, leaving after a clear test lets you explain what you're moving towards, not only what you're escaping. Change one thing, watch two signs, set one date. Small tests reduce guesswork. They do not remove all the risk. Now choose one test. A good test changes one important thing without forcing the final decision first. Use this sentence. If I change this part, then this result should improve. If I set a clear after hours rule, then my energy and focus should improve. If I spend 1 day a week on improvement work, then I should feel more learning and direction. If I speak to three people doing a different role, then I should understand whether I want the work or only the idea of it. Keep the test small, enough to run and clear enough to learn from. Whenever possible, make it easy to change back. A request is not the whole test. If you ask for a change and hear yes, watch what happens after the conversation. If you hear no, ask whether the reason is temporary or built into the organization. The response and the follow through are both evidence. Do not test five things at once. If everything changes, you will not know what taught you something. Let us build the test for our operations example. The question: if I reduce urgent after hour messages and protect time for one improvement project, will my energy, learning, and interest in the work improve? The action: I will ask my manager for a 2-week test. Non urgent messages after 8 p.m. move to the next morning. I will protect Wednesday afternoon for one improvement project. The two signs: first, do I end the week with more usable energy? Second, do I want to continue the improvement project when I have space for it? The stop point: if a critical business issue is missed or the agreement is repeatedly ignored, I will end the test early and review what that tells me. The decision date: 2 Fridays from now. Notice what this one test can reveal. Depending on which way it breaks, if energy and interest improve, stay or permanent shift become more reasonable. If the work improves but the organization will not support the change, the result points towards a shift outside the organization. If the setting improves and the work still feels wrong, the direction question becomes the strongest signal you have. One test, three possible answers. That's the point. You're not testing whether to quit. You're testing which layer is lying to you. Read the result. Improved, no change, blocked. Keep or deepen the shift. Test another layer or leave. The response is evidence. A test without a decision date becomes another day. At the end, don't ask only, do I feel better? Look for behavior and repeated signs. Did your energy improve? Did the quality of your work improve? Did you feel more interested in the work or less tired? Did the manager or organization actually support the agreed change? Did the test reveal a different problem than the one you started with? Three results are possible. Improved: keep the change and choose shift or stay. No change: test a different layer or prepare to leave. Blocked: treat the organization's response as evidence. A test that nobody will allow can still teach you something. Don't run tests forever. A test without a decision date becomes another delay wearing a different name. Three mistakes to avoid. One bad week, too many changes, no decision date. Not the pattern, no clear lesson, testing becomes delay. Enough clarity for the next move. Avoid three mistakes. First, deciding from one unusually bad week. A bad week matters. It may not describe the whole job. Second, testing everything at once. A new manager, new duties, new hours, and a job search in the same week can create movement without clarity. Third, waiting forever for the perfect evidence. You are looking for enough clarity for the next move, not certainty for the next 10 years. One layer, one test, one date. Try it and then close the loop. Go back to that first sentence. I need a change. You know it was never one decision. It was three hiding inside each other. What you do, where you do it, and where it's taking you. After this video, complete the one-pager career decision map in the description below. Name the decisions, separate the three layers, write the strongest facts and patterns, not just the story. Choose one small safe test, then set the date when you'll read the result honestly. Resigning can change where you work. It cannot tell you on its own which layer was actually broken. So before you write that email, have you actually tested the part you think is wrong? Or have you only imagined what would happen if you did? Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.